From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are covering at this hour. On Monday, President Trump suggested multiple times that he might dispatch the National Guard to Chicago, regardless of Governor J.B. Pritzker's opinion, calling the city a killing field, an apparent reference to the Cambodian genocide. Pritzker and other Illinois officials cited statistics showing drops in violent crime in Chicago and cast Trump's move as performative, partisan, and racist. Mr. President, do not come to Chicago, Pritzker said, standing in a park about a mile from the Chicago skyscraper that features Trump's name in large lettering. The governor said he would fight the petty whims of an arrogant little man who wants to use the military to occupy a U.S. city, punish his dissidents, and score political points. President Donald Trump says he's firing Lisa Cook as a member of the Federal Reserve's Board of Governors amid mortgage fraud allegations, opening a new front in the fight over America's central bank. The president's announcement came Monday, days after Cook said she wouldn't leave her post despite Trump calling for her to resign over an accusation from one of his officials that she committed mortgage fraud. Trump appointee Bill Pulte, the head of the agency that regulates mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, alleged on social media last week that Cook had claimed two primary residences in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and Atlanta in 2021 to get better mortgage terms. Mortgage rates are often higher on second homes or those purchased to rent. Trump said in announcing the move that he had the constitutional authority to remove Cook, but doing so will raise questions about control of the Fed as an independent entity, as Trump would likely appoint a loyalist to the Fed's governing board with Cook gone. Admiral Daryl Caudle took over as Chief of Naval Operations, the Navy's highest-ranking officer, on Monday, ending a 6-month vacancy created by the Trump administration's firing of his predecessor. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has ousted a growing list of top military leaders with little or no explanation. Hegseth fired Caudle's predecessor, Admiral Lisa Franchetti, without explanation in February. Neither Caudle nor Navy Secretary John Phelan addressed the ouster at a swearing-in ceremony Monday, though Franchetti was among several former chiefs of naval operations in attendance. Caudle showed his agreement with an often repeated Trump administration phrase saying peace through strength works. The top Democrat on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee says that Israel's bombing campaign in Gaza needs to end after an airstrike on a hospital killed 5 journalists, including a freelancer who worked for the Associated Press. I personally am appalled by the bombing in Gaza and by the killing of journalists, and I think it needs to end now, Senator Jeanne Shaheen told reporters on a call from Beirut. Shaheen was traveling in the Middle East as part of a U.S. delegation to meet with Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara. Congressional Democrats, who once were stalwart supporters of Israel, have recently become more outspoken critics of how Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has conducted war on Hamas. One of the duties for National Guard members in Washington will be cleaning up trash around the city, the military task force overseeing all the troops deployed to D.C. said Monday. The D.C. National Guard posted a video on social media Saturday that showed troops cleaning up an area around a trail. They were shown hauling several garbage bags and cleaning up large amounts of rubber gloves from a park bench. Officials said the effort is part of a broader beautification operation aimed at community restoration and improvement. Task force officials wouldn't offer details about how often troops have been asked to clean up areas in Washington. Public schools reopened Monday in the nation's tense capital, with parents on edge over the presence in their midst of thousands of National Guard troops, some now armed, and large scatterings of federal law enforcement officers carrying out President Donald Trump's orders to make the District of Columbia a safer place. Even as Trump started talking about other cities and again touted a drop in crime that he attributed to his extraordinary effort to take over policing in Washington, D.C., the district's mayor was lamenting the effect of Trump's actions on children. Parents are anxious. We've heard from a lot of them, Mayor Muriel Bowser said at a news conference, noting that some might keep their children out of school because of immigration concerns. Any attempt to target children is heartless, is mean, is uncalled for, and it only hurts us, she said. I would just call for everybody to leave our kids alone. As schools opened across the city and the capital city, parental social media groups and listservs were buzzing with reports and rumors of checkpoints and arrests. The week began with some patrolling National Guard units now carrying firearms. The change stemmed from a directive issued last week by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Armed National Guard troops from Ohio, South Carolina, and Tennessee were seen around the city Monday, but not every patrol appears to be carrying weapons. An Associated Press photographer said the roughly 30 troops he saw in the National Mall on Monday were unarmed. That's the news at this hour. If you are watching our news videos on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Starting September 1st, PEP Radio is changing our entire programming schedule. Details will be on our social media pages. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.